Simple. Danny goes to the movies, writes a review. You hear him on the podcast, now you know what he would do. Grab your popcorn and your soda or your healthier snacks. Enjoy the film and just relax. You don't have to do this all alone. Join our community and we'll talk about it, yo. I scream, you scream for movies, and that's what we be doing. I scream, you scream for movies, and that's what we be doing. I scream, you scream for movies, and that's what we be doing.
All right, everybody. Welcome to I Scream, You Scream for Movies for Friday, March 24th. Fuck it, it's a raw feed. We are doing it live. My name is Danny Escamolaji. Today's episode, big, badder, juicier, and loads and loads of excitement talking about this movie. It has been in my top 10, sitting at my number 10 most anticipated films of the year. John Wick Chapter 4 has finally came out. Oh my god, so much to talk about and so much beef. In a good way, not a bad way, but in a good, beefy, sussy way. No way to describe what I'm going to say right now. But before I do get started on this episode, for those that listened to my last episode, my Shazam episode, I preemptively just jumped right to having a guest right away for this particular episode. And unfortunately, my good friend of mine, Ak, could not make it to this episode, unfortunately. But that's okay. I did get to see the movie with him and his friends. We had an absolutely great time with this film. And I do want to add that he wants to let you all know he obviously rates it a 5-star hit. And that's what he wanted me to tell you guys. So, Ak, I hope you enjoyed that movie and thank you for your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this episode as I'm going to talk shit on this movie, but here we go. So, John Wick Chapter 4, let's begin. Now, action thrillers aren't been my cup of tea as they've been getting staled over the course of years. Now, I actually, when I was a kid, loving movies, I do enjoy action thrillers, particularly Liam Neeson's action thrillers, like Taken, and other action thrillers, really, I almost forgot to, no. I was going to say Bullet Train is not an action thriller, it's an action comedy, but I don't think it's just much of a thriller, but action thrillers in general, they just have been staled over the course of the years. Not only until John Wick has came to existence. The first one came out in 2014. A big slept on action thriller just began the fun and curiosity how action thrillers have changed over the course of the years. And to tell you all the truth, I have not seen the John Wick movies, but this is why homework could be annoying, and that's the most annoying and depressing part. But the homework is such worth my time to actually watch the previous 3 John Wick movies, and I was able to do so. I watched the first John Wick on the week of Scream 6, the second one on the week of Shazam, and the third one on the week of John Wick 4's release. So, my thoughts to the franchise. It is exhilarating, electrifying, and extremely fun, and a whole lot of banger in a new way of action thrillers. No one does this better. Not only Keanu Reeves, who resurrected his career over the franchise since the Matrix movies, but the director, who's all known for stunt coordination and a filmmaker, Chad Stahelski. I don't know if I got his name right, but that is the filmmaker who directed all of the 4 John Wick movies. And man, let me tell you, each of them gets better and better and better and better every single step of the way. And now, going on to John Wick 4, so much to talk about. So, even before I do start, the first one was fun. The second one, it was good, just wasn't enough action though. It was entertaining, but not enough action throughout the film. The third one, just gets you right off the bat of this plot. The action was insane. Just gets good and good. And now the fourth John Wick movie. I just can't wait to tell you all right now how much of an atrocious banger this film brings. So to start off this section, I want to talk about the most important part. The action, the choreography, and the cinematography. All in one movie. All in one action. All in these scenes. So, here we go. The action and choreography has to be fucking beautiful. It's not only beautiful, but it has to be one of the best cinematographies in action thriller history. For a John Wick film, the Oscars have to not miss that kind of film in their life. I mean, oh my god. Before I get to the action and all that, the cinematography completely rips away so much expectations. I just enjoyed a lot of that. There is a certain scene in this movie that wides out the action as John Wick kills around the bounty hunters around him and the assassins. It's wide out in the whole room, and it just keeps going. Like, oh my god. That's one of my favorite parts in that film. It was crazy. The cinematography on that was insane. And the action, and like I said, the action and choreography, especially the first act, just got insaner, and oh my god, this is nuts. Like, wow. I can't really explain all that. Who's doing all that? But you bet your ass Keanu Reeves does it all, and the other characters. It's crazy fucking good. Unreal. The most improved banger of John Wick. What people has been talking about is super true. It is relentlessly talented action that just brings you the heats. On top of that, I also want to discuss about the runtime. I know the runtime could be almost the biggest weakness to what people thought it was. The movie is literally 2 hours and 49 minutes. It is the longest film in the franchise, nearly 3 hours. So, does this runtime work? Absolutely does. I'm telling you all right now, it absolutely does. Because this is where you're going to this movie, right? You're hopping aboard the hype train to something you're excited about, and you're experiencing the hype train. The fun train does not stop. It keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, putting the gas on the pedal all the way until the movie crashes and ends, just like that. This is how fucking amazing it is. On top of that, the third act of the climax was so long, it was fucking awesome. Unbelievable. No way to describe how the third act was the most satisfying climax in movie action history. That That piece of history of third act has to be the best thing in big screen history. It has to be the biggest in John Wick franchise. It has to be of all movies. It is fucking crazy. I can't say enough how amazing this runtime and the action choreography, all in cinematography as well. All that into this fourth film, and it fucking brings the heat. Oh my lord. There's no doubt. Has to be the greatest. Another thing I want to go into, the production value for this film. So the locations wise takes place, at least I'll tell you, like multiple locations. It takes place from like the desert to Osaka to Paris, Europe. I mean, location and realistic scenes were so good. That improved so much in the aspects, even in the action sequences. Those were crazy good. The production looks was astonishing. I'm sure people talked about this too, and I'm hoping I'm not the only one, but those locations and production values were amazing. I can't describe how crazy amazing they look with the cinematography. That's also the most important part, and man, it just brings a lot of joy. Performance wise, I like to go into that. Keanu Reeves does his job and he does the rest. Even he's almost in his 60s. He's 58 years old as of right now, But even before his 60s, his body never gets tired. He's like Tom freaking Cruise. And this is where his choreography and all improves so much. A lot of the action and everything. Like, man, the martial arts and the gun fu shit, it really fucking rules. Another person I want to talk about also. Donnie Yen. This guy, so I'll explain this. He plays a character who is legit blind and he wears shades all freaking movie. He's literally blind assassin. But he steals every fucking party action and the scene lines, dialogues included. No fucking joke. Caps off to Donnie Yen. What an amazing job he put on the show. He is fabulous. He's amazing. I never seen an actor like this before, but he steals one hell of a scenes in this film. I loved it. Bill Skarsgård, a great villain, great character. Also Lawrence Fishburne. Like to see him since The Matrix with Keanu Reeves. Love to see the chemistry. Another cast member in this movie, Hiroyuki Sanada. Plays from Bullet Train, plays Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Love this actor. He's not throughout the whole movie, unfortunately, not to spoil that. He was amazing. Every time I see this guy on the big screen, he's amazing as well. Had a great chemistry with Keanu Reeves. Love it. Shamir Anderson, he plays as a character called Mr. Nobody. And no, let's not talk about Bob Odenkirk's Nobody. Let's not put him into that. I mean a different guy who plays Mr. Nobody, who hunts and pursues Wick. He's also great. Love, like, everything in the cast in this movie. All the chemistry, all the dialogue on top of that is so good. I don't see... it's like probably the best screenplay I ever watched and listened. Well understood and well handled. Sure, laughs and shit too included. Some humor, but I damn promise you, the scripts and all never got dull. It was enjoyable for the moment. Especially with the John Wick movies. They're all professionally written well for the screen, and it was great with the cast. It is awesome. The actors and cast did a great job with the performances and chemistry and dialogue. Keanu Reeves, Donnie Yen, Bill Skarsgård, Lawrence Fishburne, Hiroyuki Sanada, Shamir Anderson, and one other person I want to go over. And actually, a little bearer of bad news for those that heard on March 17th, 2023, last week, when Shazam! Fury of the Gods came out. Lance Reddick. I heard about this guy officially, and unfortunately, he passed away from natural causes. It's unfortunate and crazy how this happened, unfortunately, unpredictably before the movie comes out. And I just want to give a quick moment to honor his moment of silence. For those that were fans around him, I feel sorry. And I do enjoy this actor as well. He's been in the John Wick movies, and we'll get to see him probably in the... He has been, I'm sure, in... Okay. He is in the coming projects as his last projects. He's going to be in the Ballerina spinoff with Anna de Armas and in a TV show called Percy Jackson Olympians on Disney+. So those are when we'll get to see him last before never see him again, but I'm also sure he's been in video games too, like Horizon, as well as Destiny. So I do want to give a moment of honor, of silence for Lance Reddick right now. All right. Great actor. Great supporting actor. He's done a great job of the movies too. Everyone done a great job of the performances. It's amazing. All right. And a little question, which I will be leaving this on the Spotify answer poll. Appreciate if you guys can answer that. But is this the best action thriller film of all time for what people talks about? I ain't fucking crazy, you guys. You guys know, love screaming out my thoughts and everything. Never been screaming out like this for a while, but it is the best fucking action thriller of all time. I mainly agree. This masterpiece has to go to the Oscars. If anything, I don't give a fuck if the Oscars ignore it. That'd be fucking dumb. But people are talking about the Oscars going on. what this action thriller is, how the cinematography improves, the action and choreography. Like, the Oscars should include best stunt. Obviously, John Wick's gonna fucking take that. But if the Oscars don't do shit to improve that, I mean, I don't know what to fucking say. Oscars is fucking rigged. I never trust that a lot, even if I was optimistic about it. It'd be damning if John Wick doesn't get a single reputation of that. I think it deserves to be top 10 of the year, at least. But for the Oscar-wise, for at least best stunt or cinematography, that has to earn that. I don't know if you guys agree with that. I'm sure a lot of you guys might do if you're listening to this episode. And that's all I just want to touch base on. But damn, it is the best action thriller of all time. I fucking agree. This is how you make a new improved action thriller. No one does it but Chad Stahelski. Does fucking great job with the direction. I'm concerned how the plot keeps going with the franchise, but it just keeps getting better and it keeps getting constant. That's all I'm going to say. He's done a great job. The direction, the stunt coordinating, knows the martial arts and gun fu. It is unreal. He's done an amazing job. So kudos to Chad Stahelski. I'm giving him hands right now. All right. And now, the John Wick rankings real quick. So, how could I ever end this episode without the rankings real quick? So, before watching John Wick 4, the third one is my favorite. My second rank one in second place is the first John Wick, and the third is John Wick 2. So, and now my update ranks. My number 1, John Wick 4. Number 2, John Wick 3. Number 3, John Wick 1. And number 4, John Wick 2. So, overall the thoughts, the movies gets better, even though I didn't like the second way more. But fucking super entertaining. I enjoyed a lot of that stuff, and no other action thrillers would get me to pump but John Wick. And you know what? I'm even excited for the spinoffs too. Even if Keanu's there or not, I think those are never shutouts. We got Ballerina. We're probably getting a nobody crossover with John Wick. I mean, this is going to be crazy. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, but I will tell you all this right now for what I heard. Chad Stahelski is taking a break with the franchise at the moment, which is what I want to talk about. It's because he's actually working on a next project, and he's cooking something very delightful. When I say that, I mean he's directing a video game adaptation that even has the martial arts of that video game, but it's not even like Gun Fu or anything. It's actually a PlayStation first-party video game, and I love that video game. He is working on Ghost of Tsushima. For sure, this is what he said, because of The Last of Us. Watch that TV show, by the way. The Last of Us on HBO Max was a huge hit. Everybody loved it. He's even motivated to even work on that video game film, Ghost of Tsushima. And what he did in John Wick 4, he's going to carry that to this film. I'm sure hope he knows what to do. Not only for the action, I trust him. But can he bring the story well adapted from the video game? I love to see that much more. But Chad Stahelski, I hope you know what you're doing. And I cannot wait to see Ghost of Tsushima in the future. And speaking of that, makes me want to play that video game again for sure sometime. I will eventually. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite PlayStation video games, first-party titles. Chad Stahelski is working on Ghost of Tsushima, and it's going to be fucking awesome. Don't doubt on him. You're going to be blown away. If you happen to play the video game, or if you're a John Wick fan, you're in for a real treat. I cannot wait to see what he does. So real quick, in conclusion, before I go, John Wick Chapter 4, most banger flick action thriller of all time. And I can tell you all right now, it is not going to be top 5 or top 10. It is in my top 3 right now. I don't know what's going to happen, but that ain't going nowhere. That's for sure. It's going to be my number 1, number 2, number 3. But I can tell you right now, it's in top 3 right now. That's for sure. Never will forget this experience in my life for an action thriller. If you have not seen it, go check it out. If you haven't seen a John Wick franchise, you got homework to do to prepare how this fourth film tops it all off. And I promise, more entertaining than meets the eye of this franchise. Anyways, that is going to be it for this review. Once again, John Wick, a franchise you don't want to miss on the biggest screen possible. Go see it if you can. It will surely will deliver you guys a banger of your life. It is a must-watch for sure. Out of the whole movies in March for sure. Before the likes completely dies off and all that. And with that said, I just have one more heads up going on next week for those who are listening. For those that are tracking of being a moviegoer or love movies going to the big screen, next week there is one final movie at the end of March that I'm A, hell excited to go over, and B, no other film besides John Wick has been getting super buzzy with the word of mouth and reception going on since South by Southwest weeks ago, and that is Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. And this might be the huge surprise of the year so far, and 2023 has been super awesome with these blockbusters. So, cannot wait, and we'll see how that goes to talk about it. But for now, listeners, follow and subscribe to this podcast if you're enjoying my show or this recent episode. Please rate and review 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Really is helpful tremendously. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please leave a like, comment, smash that like button, smash. Spotify listeners, like I stated earlier, I will leave out a poll and a question for you guys to answer. Really appreciate it if you guys can respond to some. Love to read some responses from you all. Maybe give you a shout out. Don't forget to follow my social media platforms if you want to find me. Find me at Twitter at ISUS4MPod. Again, that is ISUS4MPod. Or if you can't easily find it, the show notes will provide the link. And of course, my TikTok, I Screen, You Screen for Movies. You'll find it pretty easily with the name. And if not, if you're too lazy to research the name, the link is also available in show notes as well. And lastly, you can of course email me at dskomalaji, again, at DESKAMLAJI@gmail.com. Love to hear you guys' thoughts on John Wick Chapter 4, your rankings on the franchise, or just leave your comment. If you're listening to this on YouTube, leave a comment what you think of the John Wick 4 and the franchise and your rankings as well. And speaking of that, before I go, love to read this email. Thank God, made my day. So, this email is coming off from Sif. Sif, if you're listening to this, thank you so much for emailing me this. So let me go ahead and give you a huge shout out and let me read your email. So it says here, it's kind of hard for me to put into words just how much I enjoyed John Wick 4. So let me just provide a few reactions while things are still fresh in my mind. First off, Donnie Yen stole the show as Kane, and Shamir Anderson, as the tracker self-referred to as Nobody, was a great addition to the cast. The movie really hits the ground running and does not let up for a good solid hour until it finally lets the audience breathe for a moment, only for it just to start up right again without missing a beat. Gotta love how people in the John Wick universe just love dancing while bullets fly past their heads. I also loved how Mr. Wick just used his coat to block bullets. The movie doesn't waste time explaining why we just as an audience accept it, because why wouldn't that be a thing in the John Wick universe? There's an action scene in the third act felt like a live action adaptation of Hotline Miami. Easily one of my favorite moments of the movie. Man, what a wild ride from start to finish, and I cannot wait to see it again. Sif, thank you so much. You actually referred Hotline Miami like a live adaptation, so I know what you mean. It's the movie itself, I almost forgot. It is like watching a video game film. That is also a value I forgot, and what Sif says, I can relate to that. But thank you so much, Sif, for sending me that email. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the shout out and this episode. So if you guys love to leave me that thought, like Sif's email me at dskomalaji@gmail.com or leave a comment. Maybe give me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts like Ock for the movie, for John Wick 4. You know, anything that really hits up my mind. Love to see anyone interact with me by email or comments, or leaving your thoughts on Spotify on the question and poll. Love to hear some thoughts. And don't forget, Dungeons & Dragons coming out next week. Another must listen episode you guys don't want to miss out on. And yeah, I think that will do it for now. Ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing else to say except for until next time, I'll be screaming you all at I Screen, You Scream for movies. Nailed it.